Hi everybody. Hello, hello. It's Sunday. It's ASMR night, and I guess as is tradition lately, more hand cam. Um, so sorry about no stream Friday and Saturday last night. I thought I would be able to stream Friday, but we went to my uncle's for burgers and hot dogs and stuff. Didn't get home till like after 9. Um, so, but that's okay. That's okay. You guys didn't miss me that much, did you? So then Saturday was planned. I knew there would be no stream Saturday. Um, so we got to the movie. So Saturday, last night, yesterday was my sister's birthday, and we went to go see the new Jurassic movie. Um, Jurassic World Rebirth that I guess hit theaters fairly recently, and sorry, it's good. It was good. That didn't get out till about. It was like a clean hour 30 minutes. Like it was not very long at all. We had to sit through a couple, like a maybe 15 minutes of previews. Some of them were pretty interesting. Well, one of them, I guess they're rebooting Running Man, which I didn't know was a thing, but apparently there was one with had Arnold in it, and that movie was just him running across the country. This one is like the most dangerous game, but like on steroids, I guess, because he gets a bajillion dollars if he lives for a month, and then him and his family don't have to live in poverty anymore. But they're making a new Tron movie. I hadn't heard anyone talk about it at all till I saw the preview. I was like, oh, there's a new Tron movie. Um, and I don't know if this one's related to the one that came out in the 2000s. Was it 2000s, 2010s? Um, that one where they like go inside the arcade machine. Sorry, the camera is not. There we go. That's a little better. Um, and the trailer's pretty cool. Um, it was neat. That's the premise seems to be that Tron world invades our own, the real world, kind of like Digimon Cyber Sleuth, I guess. Um, and the bad guys, their colors are all like stark red, like Kool-Aid, fruit punch red. Whereas in the one from the 2000s or whenever that one released, had like a Wii game, I think. The bad guys were kind of an amber orange, from what I remember. I haven't seen that movie in a very long time. So I feel like this one is new. It's called Tron Ares. Um, yeah, it looked cool. Like there's a giant floating ship that moves between skyscrapers, and there's like dog fighting little ships, and then they like kill each other by doing barrel rolls or whatever. Because the Tron bikes, they leave that streak of light, and then you crash into it and you lose, like in the video game. So they have spaceships that leave this trailing light that like block projectiles. It's cool. It's cool. It is. Um, and then if you're watching the VOD, I'm going to spoil the whole Jurassic World Rebirth movie. So maybe come back to this VOD after you've watched it. I'm just going to give my thoughts. And I can't do that without spoiling it because, yeah. So anyway, that's why there were no streams Friday and yesterday. Yeah. hope, hope you guys are doing okay. Hope you guys are having a good weekend or had a good weekend. Hi, Mercury. How you doing? Congrats on getting first, sweetheart. Yeah. Hi, Mercury. How are you, Mercury? How you doing, sweetheart? Good to see you. Oh, right. Just before the outbreak starts, I decided to wear some fishnets today. These ones are like the biggest loops I have. I don't know why I decided to wear these ones. I don't know. I haven't worn them in a while, so it's been a day. Well, I hope you get some good rest. Like you, these came in like a 3-pack with these ones with the really big loops, ones with like maybe half the size, and then some really tight ones that look like tights. Yeah, they're cozy. I picked these ones because last month for a hand cam stream I wore fishnets that were tighter than this, and they made me kind of itchy. Weren't super comfortable to sit in for a few hours. These ones have bigger loops, so they're not as abrasive, I guess is the word. But yeah. But that's why there was no stream Friday and Saturday. Excuse me. But yeah. I also caught up or watched some of the new anime this season that aired today and some yesterday, I guess. There's some pretty cute ones that aired today, and then some ones that I was like, okay, I need to watch this. Let's see. Which ones did I watch? Oh, cultural exchange with a Game Center girl. That was very cute little romance. It's super sweet. Art's really nice. Night of the Living Cat. I watched that one. That was just super funny. It's very funny. If you haven't watched it, I'm gonna talk about it for a second. But so the plot, the premise is that like there's zombie apocalypses, everybody gets turned into zombies. Night of the Living Cat is there's a virus. Or is this how you do it? Right. But Night of the Living Cat is a zombie apocalypse thing, but the zombies are cute cats instead. And you get turned into a cat if a cat touches your bare skin. And it's very funny. It's so the main characters all it's like this season there are so there are so many more anime this season, it feels like, than there were last season that were even like worth looking at or had an interesting premise. Like this season is crazy. We've got a new season of My Dress Up Darling. I think there's more Dr. Stone. Kaiju number 8 is back. There's just a ton of sequels and then some original stuff. Hi, Jam Jam. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Oh, did they announce a new season of Free Run next year? Is that what? That's the only elf girl that she immediately comes to mind. 2026. Ah, okay. Gotcha. Welcome back from the ad break. Thank you. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you. It means a lot. How you doing, Jim Jam? You're cute. Those are cute emotes. those are cute emotes. Hi, Crid. How you doing, sweetheart? How you doing? Um, but Night of the Living Cat. The characters all like ran a cat cafe before the neon apocalypse, I think is what they call it. And it makes for some good comedy. It's very funny. Um, it's super. You should watch it. You should watch it. It's really good. You're okay. I'm glad to hear that, Crit. Thank you. You're very sweet, Crit. You're very sweet. I also watched. So I watched Cultural Exchange with a Game Center girl, Night of the Living Cat, and then there's Apocalypse Bringer, Minogara, Minogra, World of Conquest starts with and then some other words. It's Overlord. The premise anyway. Like this guy plays like an RTS strategy game, maybe like a civilization game, but he plays as the evil guys that are like the hardest faction to get a win with, and he like beat it on the hardest difficulty over and over with this civilization, and then he wakes up in the forest with the pretty elf lady that is like that civilization's like advisor or something, and she's like, my king, we're going to let's conquer this world too, I don't know where we are either. So they both get isekai somewhere, and I don't know, it might be interesting. It might be. I'll probably watch a couple more episodes before deciding if I want to put it down or not. But I think my favorite for this season so far, but I haven't watched My Dress Up Darling yet. Ruri Rocks. It's an anime about cute girls hunting for minerals, and it's probably the prettiest anime of the season. It's gorgeous. It is gorgeous. It is so pretty, and the OP and the ED, they're just fantastic. They're both gorgeous as well. It made me misty-eyed. It learns you things about rocks, and give it a shot. The characters are also very cute. They're very cute. Like it's also like a teensy bit fan servicey. It feels like, but maybe not. I don't know. But it's very cute. It's very cute. It's gorgeous. The anime, the art it's so good. So watch Ruri Rocks. That's Ruri. I can't say Ruri. But yeah, those are the ones I watched today. So some pretty good ones this season. I'm excited. I'm excited. We're just getting started here. It feels like. I haven't checked if High Dive has anything. I've checked High Dive's website. I haven't seen anything like upcoming things. So I don't know if they even got anything this season. We'll see. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So here you go, Crid. I'm wearing some fishnets tonight. I'm wearing these ones because I have the biggest loops, and aren't as abrasive, whatever the correct word there is. Because I wore fishnets for a handcam stream like a month ago with some tighter loops, whatever they're called. Links, because it reminds me of a chain link fence. I don't know. But that one it was a little too itchy to be sitting in those for a couple hours. So these ones are bigger, so they're a little less so. Anyway, it's good to see you guys. Sorry about the no streams 2 days in a row. I haven't had something like that since I got um, sick last year, I think. Yeah. Because we've missed like individual days, but not two in a row. And when I got sick last year, I was like a half a month. 2 weeks. Also, I don't know if I've talked about it already. I probably have. Last weekend, last Sunday, after a stream, I recorded a video, a handcam ASMR video, where I just read Wikipedia. I read the Wikipedia article for Eutyrannus, which is, if I recall correctly, it's the largest theropod that we have confirmation that it had, with confirmation that it had feathers, which is very cool. It's a very cool animal. Anyway, that video went crazy for some reason, and it has over 1,000 views, and it's nuts. It's overwhelming, in how well it's done. Like it's crazy. So, people seem to like those videos. So, I'll probably do another one after this stream. As far as what, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe mouth sounds. I haven't done mouth sounds yet. Okay. So, Saturday, for those of you that weren't here like 10 minutes ago, saw the new Jurassic World movie last night, and then we went to Red Robin's for my sister's birthday dinner. I hadn't been in a sit-down restaurant in a long time. Those burgers are expensive. It's like $16 to $17 for some of those sandwiches, which I get it. You gotta make your money. Just kind of ridiculous. And I didn't feel like I was super tired because I feel like I get headaches when I go to the movie, when I go to the theater, because it's loud. I had my earbuds in the whole time, so it wasn't as loud. It was still loud. I was tired, and I didn't feel like getting a burger, so I ordered the turkey burger, which was actually really good. So I saw the dinosaur movie and then ate a dinosaur in a sandwich. The turkey wasn't dry at all. It's really good. It had lettuce, I think it had pepper jack, I think, on it, and a chili aioli sauce thing. So it's actually fairly spicy for me, to my palate. It was spicy, but it was really good. And then, yeah. So, I want to talk about the movie. But actually, like, everybody was like, what did you think when we were after the movie? I was like, I don't know. I'm tired. I'm still thinking. And when I got home, I do laundry. So while I was waiting for laundry, I watched a Skeleton Crew video. The Skeleton Crew is a YouTube channel run by like there's 5 of them. 5 paleontologists or like PhD students. And they did this series of videos where they reviewed every single animal in Jurassic World Evolution 2. And rated the design. They talk about they did every episode is like an hour and a half long. I think a couple of them are 2 hours. But they talk about where the animal's from, its physiology, its where it fits in the tree of life, whatever, right? And then at the end they talk about the design and rate it, and then put it on a tier list. Yeah, I haven't watched all of them. I've watched a handful, but they're really cool. And at the end of every episode, they spin a wheel, and then they would review that animal the next week, or next 2 weeks, or whatever. And I believe they ended the last episode was Tyrannosaurus, which I still need to watch that. But that was neat. And yesterday they uploaded a video of them talking about the movie, and it was like an hour and 53 minutes long. And I was trying to avoid like videos or reviews about the movie because okay, I need to think about it myself. But they're just cool guys, and I wanted to hear what they had to say. And they brought up things as like, oh yeah, that's cool. I didn't actually think of that. So I'm going to talk about the movie. So plug your ears if you don't want spoilers, because we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the movie. And please feel free to redeem your smooches, trigger requests, all that while I'm talking. No worries. That's why I'm here. Anyway, the movie was shot on film, I believe. That's what they said. I didn't. I don't know. It's been a while. The last movie I saw in theaters was the Overlord Holy Kingdom arc movie in like August of last year, maybe September. Maybe there was, I don't know, latter half of last year. So, and Dominion, I've only seen Dominion once. I only saw Dominion once, and that was in theaters. I had seen Fallen Kingdom a handful of times because my sister, whose birthday it was yesterday, she really likes the Jurassic films. And she's at this point she might have watched them more than I have. I don't know. But I watched the first one a lot when I was little, from behind the couch, because it was still scary. Anyway, the movie is cool. I don't think it's bad. I actually think it's pretty decent. I think in terms of like character work and writing, it's like, I think it's better than Fallen Kingdom and Dominion for sure. Although Dominion has Ian Malcolm in it, I guess so does Fallen Kingdom. But I really like the characters in the movie. They're not amazing or anything, but they're all tolerable people. And it was nice to have a main character in a movie be a paleontologist again, because the World films is just Chris Pratt, and Chris Pratt's a cool guy. He's neat, but his character's not a paleontologist. So one of the characters in the movie is a paleontologist. So the premise of the movie is ridiculous. I hate it. But it's just a vehicle to justify why we need to go to an island full of dinosaurs again, when the past two movies set up that dinosaurs are everywhere now. So this movie, sets up that all the dinosaurs are dead, except a few in like this thin band around the equator or the planet. So like the Yucatan, not the Yucatan, the around like Panama, like that part, South America. And it's a bunch of sciencey gobbledygook that like there's more oxygen there and it's closer to where these animals were living. But like it's just frustrating because not every dinosaur lived in a swampy marsh. We have most of the fossils we find are from areas with water because it makes fossilizing things easier. Um, an example, Gigantopithecus, the biggest ape that you know has ever lived, that we know of. From I think they found it in China. Was just found through molars in caves and things because molars are made of your teeth are the strongest bones in your body because they're covered in enamel and all that. Everybody knows that, but not everybody knows. I don't know what I'm saying. But those teeth are the only thing left because they're very hardy and very tough bits of bone. And those are not found in a lake bed or anything. They were found in caves. So most of the stuff we find are animals that lived around water or, had access to water. Not many animals from mountainous areas, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Things fossilize better when they're buried in silt very quickly, so scavengers can't get to them, and so the fossilization process has the best chance of working, of preserving the bones. Anyway, why did I break? Anyway, dinosaurs lived everywhere. They lived in every single environment possible, mostly. There's this neat, I think it's a Nova episode. I think it was an episode of Nova about dinosaurs that they found in Alaska. It's either Alaska or Canada. I think it's Canada. There's a species of Troodon there. There's a big theropod and hadrosaur that they find. So near the North Pole, like in the Arctic, where it was very cold, it snowed, and so they could live in snowy conditions, not like thrive or anything. Because you look at the rings on their bones, just like when you cut a tree in half, there's growth rings, and you can kind of count or whatever, track the growth rings of the bone cross section to see when they had growth spurts or when their growth had slowed. So it's and then you could look at their poop or whatever. In the Nova episode, they interview this lady, and there was a day. Sorry, tangent. There's a day, a Sunday. I was shaving my legs, and I found a Nova episode that aired a few months after Jurassic Park released, the first one in theaters, about how one would go about making a Jurassic Park a reality. And they interview this lady who studies coprolites, or poop. I think coprolite's the right word. Fossilized dung. And then she showed up in this Alaskan, this Arctic dinosaur Nova episode. I was like, oh, it's her, but she looks way older now. Anyway, she looked at some hadrosaur poop through a microscope, and you see chunks of wood and fibrous material. So, in the winter time, because the Nova episode posits that these hadrosaurs would migrate north during the summer or whatever, have their babies, and then migrate south before winter hits. But then they looked at how long their eggs would need to gestate, which was about, I think it was 6 or 9 months. I think it was 6. Um, I think it might have been 9. These are like eggs like this big. Like they're not big eggs, or they're not small eggs. Um, eggs, dinosaur egg size is a whole other thing you can talk about. This is very interesting. Anyway, um, these hadrosaurs would not have enough time to migrate north, breed, lay their eggs, and then the eggs to hatch, and then the babies be big enough to make the journey south, um, before winter, before it started snowing. So they stayed there, and they ate things, and their growth and their rings are very. It's very. Those rings are much smaller, and then after the summer or spring, whatever, when there's food, besides rotting logs and whatever plants are hibernating under the snow. Anyway, dinosaurs can live anywhere. It's fine. But this movie posits that no, the dinosaurs aren't everywhere anymore. They live in this thin band around the equator where it's barred for any people to go to. And in this setting, everyone hates dinosaurs. They're sick of them. And the movie is really sad. Like, the movie opens and it's very upsetting, where there's an apatosaurus. I think they're in New York, I think it's New York. And there's an apatosaurus stuck under like a overpass, and it's like dying, and it's just dying on the side of the road, and there's like hazmat people spraying it, like everybody's like honking their horns, like, just die already, and it's just it's upsetting. It's upsetting. Like, why would no dinosaurs are cool? um, but whatever. It's a movie. So the premise is that there's this guy from Big Pharma. He's like this guy from a pharmaceutical company. Definitely not like the CEO or CEO, whatever it means. Chief Executive Officer. What does COO mean? Chief Operations Operator? I don't know. Anyway, you could tell that this guy is gonna be like the bad guy, and he is. Spoilers. He is the bad guy. Um, but the premise is that he hires this lady. I think her name is Zora in the movie. Zora. She's like a mercenary lady who's like broke. And this guy's like, I'll give you $10 bajillion to take me to this island full of mutant dinosaurs, because I need their DNA to make a pill that extends the lifespan of people that have heart disease. The justification for that being that they need the DNA to make this pill or genetic gene therapy for heart disease victims, because they need the DNA from the 3 biggest dinosaurs. Are already like, the beginning of this movie is rough if you like to talk about dinosaurs or learn about anything. If you like dinosaurs, the beginning's just a little rough, because like, everyone hates dinosaurs. Here's one dying on the street, which I did think about in that the event that the dinosaurs were just living everywhere. Like, what happens when a brachiosaurus collapses on a road, and that thing weighs how much does a brachiosaurus weigh? I don't actually know. $30 and 60 metric tons, or 66,000 to 132,000 pounds. So that's really big. That's 20 African elephants. That would be about 20 banthas, just, just about, maybe a little less. Um, but we don't need to get into banthas again. That was okay. Anyway, so I was like, oh, that'd be interesting if like a sauropod was sick or whatever, and then it just laid down on the road. What do you do? Or it dies. You need to. Um, you're gonna have to cut it up to move it, which I actually like a lot about another tangent. Kaiju number 8 is about the setting where there's kaiju attacks. Um, and then they have the cleanup crew that goes in and like cuts up the monster and like disinfects everything. And it's like, okay, that's cool. And makes sense. So this Apatosaurus, it's the Jurassic World evolution, a Jurassic World design for Apatosaurus. It's just this gravel, slate gray Apatosaurus. And so that's how the movie opens. And the guy's like, okay, so I'm gonna hire you for like $10 million to escort me to this island so we can get the DNA of the three largest things, dinosaurs. So the things they need DNA from is the Mosasaurus, which I think they imply that it's the same animal from Jurassic World and Fallen Kingdom and Dominion. But the one in this movie I think is a little smaller, or maybe it's bigger. I don't know. But it's got like this mottled brown stripes on its back and things. It's not like this gray creature like in the World trilogy. So in my mind, it's a different mosasaur, but I guess they imply it's the same one because like, oh, we're tracking its implant because InGen tagged it when it was born or whatever. And now we have the rights to this because they bought InGen, or it's Gen X or whatever, and then they bought InGen out, or so they have the rights to track the mosasaur, whatever. And so they need DNA from the mosasaur and a titanosaur, which is a dinosaur. Mosasaurus is not a dinosaur. It's just a marine reptile. And then they need DNA from a Quetzalcoatlus, which does not look like the Quetzalcoatlus from Dominion, which is a really cool Quetz design. I actually really like that design. They did not stick with it. The one in this movie is smaller and has like this hook that curls back towards its eyes on its beak. So, like, we talked about this when the trailer's released. I figured that this animal, this Quetzalcoatlus in Rebirth, was a Hatzagopteryx, which is also an Asdarkid. Hi Lilith, how are you doing, sweetheart? Good to see you. There we go. Please go follow Lilith. Oh my goodness. Lilith. I don't know if it's my accent that makes it hard or if it's just me and I'm dumb. I don't know. But please go give Lilith lots of love. Please, she's awesome. She's super sweet. We are. I am. So if you haven't seen it, I will be talking about spoilers and things. So, just be warned. Be warned. You're too sweet, Lilith. Please give Lilith lots of love. Also, go follow Lilith on, I guess it's called X now. Lilith is hand sewing a Hoptini. I think I can show an image of it real quick. Hi Xenox. here. Yeah. So we played through. We did a playthrough of. Well, we didn't finish the game, but we played Pokemon Infinite Fusion like 2 years ago. This is a while ago, and this is Hoptini. This is a Hoppip and a Dratini fusion, and Lilith is hand sewing one, and she is amazing. She is so talented. She has progress pics of the plushie on her Twitter/X, and it is incredible. It is amazing. I wish I could sew things like that with my fingers. I can't do that. She's incredible. Please give Lilith lots of love. She's awesome. Let me remove this now. Who unironically calls it X. Yeah, this is silly. But hi Xenox, how you doing, sweetheart? How you doing? I'm going to be talking about. I am talking about the new Jurassic World movie. I will be spoiling it. We've been talking about it for the last like 20 minutes, and we've gotten to like the first maybe 10 minutes of the movie. Anyway, I feel like the trailer showed a little too much dinosaur. They didn't leave much. The trailers that I saw. Anyway, so they need the DNA from these 3 big animals because they have the biggest hearts, which means they have the strongest hearts, and that will somehow help them develop a treatment to give heart disease victims like 20 more years of life, which is a laudable goal. Anyway, they need DNA from Quetzalcoatlus, which is the largest thing that has ever flown, living thing of its own power, and it's very big. This animal in this movie, there's a Quetzalcoatlus in Dominion, which I think looks better. This one in this movie still looks interesting, and has some interesting behaviors, and definitely an interesting design. I think if they toned down the horn hook thing on its head, I think it would have looked maybe a little better. But I was like, no, this is not a Quetz, it's a Hatzegopteryx, which is smaller than a Quetz, because it does not look like the Quetz, or is nearly as large as a Quetz from Dominion. Anyway, so 2 of the things that they need DNA from are not dinosaurs, the Mosasaurus and the Quetzalcoatlus. The Titanosaur is a dinosaur, so you got 1 right. Anyway, so that's the plot. The justification for them going to this island full of dinosaurs is that the dinosaurs can only survive in like humid, hot areas around the equator, because it's hot there. Even though dinosaurs are most certainly, at least the larger ones, are most certainly warm-blooded. Doesn't matter. It's frustrating, but yeah, it's just to get people on an island with dinosaurs, which is fair. It's stupid. It's a stupid reason, but it's a reason nonetheless. So the big pharma guy hires Natalie Portman's character, and then they go meet up with a paleontologist guy who works in a museum, who I think he's my favorite character in the movie, besides maybe the dad of like the family that's kind of like the heart of the film, and the guy that owns the boat. I think those guys are probably my favorite characters, because they feel the most like real people, making realistic decisions under stress. But good to see you, Lilith. Hope you're doing okay. Good to see you. And hi, Xenox. Hope you're doing right, sweetheart. Um, this paleontologist guy is named Dr. Loomis. Like, I believe it's Dr. Loomis. And he works at the museum, and they're shutting down the dinosaur wing of the museum, I guess. So they're gonna bring him along because he knows about dinosaurs and all that stuff. Excuse me. And if you watch dinosaur videos on YouTube, you've probably seen Your Dinosaurs Are Wrong. The guy that does the Your Dinosaurs Are Wrong videos looks kind of like Dr. Loomis, but like a little more built, I guess. This is kind of funny. Anyway, Dr. Loomis goes with them after they're like, do you want to go see a living dinosaur? And he's like, yeah, of course I want to do that. Let's go. Because it's illegal to go anywhere in these designated areas where these dinosaurs still survive. So the island in this movie is not Nublar, Sorna, or was there a Site 3? Maybe not. It's a different island that InGen was working on doing R&D on for Jurassic World. Because to build up to this movie, it was speculated or thought or whatever that like this was like an OG InGen facility from like the 90s or 80s, and then InGen later went back there and built newer facilities there. But that's not the case. It specifically says 17 years ago at the beginning, giving us a prelude to the movie monster, like the big, scary new mutant dinosaur, which we'll get to. We'll get to him. Anyway, so the paleontologist guy is like, yeah, I want to go see a dinosaur. So then they go to, I don't remember where it is, but then they go to meet with this guy who knows Natalie Portman's character, who is good at smuggling people in and out of, and items in and out of places. Natalie Portman's character is explicitly a mercenary lady. And this guy's character, the boat guy, I can't remember his name. It's like on the tip of my tongue. Actually really like his actor, who I also can't remember his name. Let me look it up. I want to make sure I get this right. Mashallah Ali. I can't speak. I can't say names right. I'm so bad at them. His character's name is Duncan Kincaid, which is a very good. This is a good name. Actually, his character, after the paleontologist character, is my favorite. He's just a likable, decent dude who does some not so nice work. Well, he just smuggles things. He's Han Solo, except a little nicer than Han Solo. But so Scarlett Johansson's character's name is Zora Bennett. The bad guy's name is Martin Krebs, which sounds like a bad guy who runs a pharmaceutical company, for sure. But uh, where was I? I don't remember. Oh yeah. So they meet with Duncan Kincaid, who charter his boat to take them to the island to track the mosasaur to get its DNA, and then go to the island, get the titanosaur DNA and the Quetzalcoatlus DNA. And there's some cool scenes. There's a scene of a fishing boat that they cut the net or whatever, and they dump the fish onto the deck of the boat, and there's a Dunkleosteus skull there, just the head. It's still massive. So that was cool to see a Dunkleosteus, because we haven't seen one in a Jurassic film. Dunkleosteus is not a dinosaur; it's a fish. The dunk. It's that, if you've ever been to the museum or whatever, it's that skull, where they have like the aquatics exhibits. It's the big skull with like the big their teeth remind me of those things they used to rip staples out of paper, stacks of paper. They have like big shearing teeth. Or plates. I guess they're teeth. But it was just their head that was bone. So we only really have their heads. Where now sharks and lots of fish the bone is just like their teeth. Anyway, Dunkleosteus is a really cool animal, and it was fun to see its head. It was cool. It was super cool. And then when they're meeting with Duncan Kincaid in like his bar or whatever, I don't know if it's his bar, they just meet at a bar. They have little baby pterosaurs in cages, in like bird cages. Except like they just used a pteranodon model, but like shrunk it, like maybe the size of my hand. So it's like the Spy Kids movie, where the scientist makes like the crazy monsters, but they're like tiny, like the flying pig and stuff. I always liked that part of the movie. That's the only part of the movie I remember, because like, oh, tiny little monsters. I love tiny little monsters. And then the monsters get big. There's like the scorpion guy and the flying pig. Those are the ones I remember. Something with the scorpion tail and the flying pig. Anyway, so there's some two cool creature scenes there. That was fun. And then there's some dialogue of them like tricking the big pharma guy and be like, okay, fine, I'll double it because you haven't paid off. Because the guy, Duncan's like, oh, I can't do it. I haven't even paid off the boat yet. It's too risky. And then he's like, fine, I'll pay you double. And then they're like, haha, gotcha. You're gonna pay us double now. So there was a few pretty good jokes in the movie. That was one of them, where another guy that's going with them, who's in charge of like security, who I did not like up front. Well, not after a bit, because he's like, I got this gun that shoots darts with neurotoxin that's gonna kill the dinosaurs, and then because the paleontologist character's like, what do you mean you're gonna? It's like, because neurotoxin attacks your brain. It's in like some snake venom. It paralyzes their prey or whatever, so then they can dispatch them or whatever. Anyway, this guy is like, oh, hey, I can't do it. And then they're like, oh no, we already did that. It's okay. And then that was a good one. It's like the movie had a pretty decent sense of humor. There were some good parts that made me chuckle. So then they set out on the boat to go shoot the mosasaur with a dart to extract its blood, which was actually a really cool thing. It was like this big harpoon gun looking thing. Yeah. These big glass bottles with this giant needle that pops out, and it's stuck on like this harpoon gun looking thing. And it works. how the needle penetrates, it fills with blood, and then when it's done, it ejects itself with this propellant, and then it opens a parachute, and then so you can catch it. So that was a cool device, a way to get like the mosasaur DNA, or just that's cool. It's cool. Um, but so they go to get the mosasaur DNA, and this big farmer guy is immediately like, his character is very unlikable, which is good because it's supposed to be. Excuse me. And then we cut to the heart of the film being this family going on this uh, sailboat trip. On the sailboat, his dad, his two daughters, and one of the daughters' boyfriends, because his older daughter is going to university the next year or the following fall, so they go on like this big sailboat trip. It's like this one last hurrah, which is crazy because they're like crossing the ocean, and they're going to be out there for weeks or months. I don't know. I don't really remember where they said they were going. I think they said they were going to Cape Town, which is in Africa, I think. Or there's Cape Town in Africa. Anyway, so they set up some character. There's some character writing there, and the boyfriend is like immediately like he's like drunk or high or whatever when he climbs out of the cabin because it's like his shift to at the wheel because the dad hasn't slept in a while, I guess. And the little girl in the movie, I like her character. There's like not a character I dislike in this movie, if that makes sense. Besides like the bad guy, because you're supposed to dislike him because he's a bad guy. But like there's not like a character I can think of that like, oh, I did not like them at all. I feel like the movie's pretty good. Okay, it's pretty good. Anyway, the sailboat, their sailboat gets attacked by the mosasaur, and in the distance you see two sails in the water, which are the Spinosaurus. And we talked about Spinosaurus a couple weeks, like last week, about whether or not it could swim. It definitely could, but out that far to sea, because the family were like 28 miles from the island, and I don't know if the Spinosaurus would go out that far in the open ocean, but it was still cool. Like the Spinosaurus in this movie were really neat. They were really fun. So I didn't realize this till later, till I watched the Skeleton Crew video when they talk about it. But because the mosasaur doesn't destroy the sailboat, it like brushes it with its fin, like its belly. It approaches it from the side, like this is its fin, and its tummy. It brushes against the boat like this, and like knocks it, rolls it. Like it doesn't attack it at all, because and then the video I watched where people that it was like 5 paleontologists talking about their thoughts on the movie, the Skeleton Crew, which is a YouTube channel you should go watch because their stuff's cool. They're like, oh yeah, I was under the impression that it didn't destroy the boat because it thought it was another Spinosaurus because of the sailboat's sail, which is an interesting detail if that's what was intended by the film, because the mosasaur like rubs up against the Spinosaurus like, hello friend, and then the boat rolls on the side and then subsequently rolls over, I think, upside down, maybe, or it's just on the side, and that's cool because so in this movie the mosasaur and the Spinosaurus are friends. The Spinosaurus corral prey, and then the mosasaurus goes in and takes care of it or whatever. Anyway, that was really cool. Anyway, the family, they get like the boyfriend goes back in the cabin before all that happens. He goes back down in the cabin because he's like, I'm still tired. I don't think I can pilot the boat because he's a lazy guy, right? Is supposed to be unlikable. He actually has an arc where he goes from being lazy to not being lazy, um, and he's like the one character with an actual arc besides Natalie Portman's character. Is Natalie? It's not Natalie Portman. Is it? Oh my god, so stupid. Um, Scarlett Johansson. Natalie Portman is Padme. Somebody's was yelling at me. Sorry. Um, anyway, um, Scarlett Johansson's character has an arc where she goes from being a mercenary, wanting to sell the spoilers, wanting to give the DNA that they get to the pharma guy to get money, instead of like releasing the DNA to the public, and then the public, every company can make the heart disease therapy treatment or whatever, which is interesting. I don't know how they would give it to the public or anything. Um, but yeah, so they get the dad swims. So the boyfriend's still in the boat as it rolls, and I like the detail that they couldn't get the door open because if you watched MythBusters, I did growing up. They did an episode, maybe in a revisit, maybe to the theory that if your car crashes into Alpha Bridge or whatever, and you land in water, and your car is sinking and it's filling with water, you can't open the door because the pressure is not equal on the outside of the car to the inside because there's still air on the inside of the car. So to get out of your car, you have to wait for the cabin to fill with water, and then you can open the door just fine because the pressure is equalized, and then you can get out. And that's how it works. So in this movie, when the boat rolls, the cabin doors can't open till they're completely closed, till it's completely full of water, which I liked. That was cool. It's like they watched MythBusters. I don't know, but that was a cool detail to me. So the boyfriend, the dad goes down and like yells at the boyfriend before the boat completely rolls over and the cabin fills with water to get the emergency pack to get the radio so they can radio for a mayday. And he does, and then he can't get out till the cabin's full, and he kicks the door open, and so they all get on top of the rotated boat, and they radio for mayday. And the the other guys who are going to the island to get the DNA, in the morning, Duncan Kincaid, the boat captain, wakes up and then teases the guy who was at the wheel because he fell asleep, and he goes to exit the cabin to go outside, and then the radio was picking up the mayday, but it was all garbled, and then he hears the word mayday, mayday, last known location, this, and then he's like, we're gonna go save these guys, and then the big farmer guy's like, no, we're not gonna do that, we're like 2 miles away from the mosasaur, we gotta go get the DNA, then we can go back, maybe. And then Duncan's like, no, we're gonna go get him. I like Duncan. Duncan's cool. Duncan Kincaid is a cool guy who smuggles things. Anyway, so they go save the family, and then they're going to the island, and then the family's like, "What do you mean, you guys are? What are you talking about? This, and this, and what are you doing?" And then, they find the mosasaur because they're tracking it, and then there's another signal on this map on the table. Like, what is that? Is that a glitch? No, they pick up another signal, which I don't know if that means there's two mosasaur or if that's like a Spinosaurus tag. I don't know. Uh, I still don't know what they meant by that because there's only one mosasaur in the movie. Anyway, the scene with the mosasaur is really cool. Um, so they're like sitting in the cabin talking, and then the older daughter of the family looks out the window and sees sails of Spinosaurus again, which means that the mosasaur is nearby. So then it cuts to them being completely surrounded by like 6 Spinosaurus. And the paleontologist guy's all excited. He's like, "Oh, it's mutualism. They're helping the mosasaur. They're friends." And the Spinosaurus they look really nice. They're not at all look like the JP3 Spinosaurus. They have like the fluke on the tail, and they're more squat, and they have like the hands that they clutch the chest, right? Anyway, the Spinosaurus in this movie are gorgeous. They're so pretty. But yeah, hi CJ, how you doing? Good to see you. I think we have an ad break starting in hour. It's already been an hour. Hi Cookie, how you doing? But I'm doing okay, CJ. We're talking about the new Jurassic World movie. I saw it yesterday. It's really good. We're gonna spoil the whole movie, but it's good. It's a good movie. It's like I think it's on par with. The plot is just kind of JP3. It's better than the last 2 World films, and like on par. Oops, sorry, sorry. Sorry about that. I think the ranking wise, to me, it's like around JP3. I haven't watched JP3 in a while. I might like that one more. I guess I need to go rewatch them all. I have not seen Lost World in a very long time. But I'm doing okay. How you doing, CJ? So if you haven't seen the movie, spoilers. I don't know if you guys can hear me. There's an ad break, but I haven't had anyone say they have gotten ads in a while. Anyway, the scene with the Spinosaurus and the Mosasaur is really cool. There's a scene where the Mosasaurus is like bumping around the boat, and it's underneath the boat, and Scarlett Johansson is like on like the front tip of the boat with like strapped to it to take the shot with the syringe to get the Mosasaur's DNA. And there's a scene where the Mosasaur bumps the boat and she like rolls overboard, but she's like hanging by the straps, and the paleontologist character has to pull her up, and the Mosasaur is like sideways. Sorry, I talk with my hands. I don't know if this makes sense, but it's sideways, and you see its eye, and it like it's really good. It's really good. Anyway, Duncan pilots the boat towards the shallows, towards the shore, because the Mosasaur probably can't is too big to go on the rocks, basically. And then they like, okay, we have to jump overboard, and there's a scene that kind of makes the bad guy like, oh, why, that's kind of not cool of him to have done that. So the bad guy is the big pharma guy, and the dad of the family tells the older daughter to go inside, radio a mayday, so the authorities can come get us. So she runs inside. Then the pharmacy guy, he runs in there and like stops her from radioing mayday, and then she the a Spinosaurus or whatever hits the boat, and then she flies out an open door, and is like clutching the side of the boat. She's like, "Help me, help me!" And he just stares at her, and then she falls into the ocean. And you're like, "Oh, that was a bad guy. I don't like that guy." And then the boyfriend jumps in the water after her, and then everybody's like, "We gotta jump, because they're gonna crash. The boat's gonna crash, right?" So they get everything in the packs, and then they jump overboard, and then the boat crashes, and then it's fine. Like, no one got like seriously hurt from the boat crash. Like, Duncan didn't even either, and he was like piloting the boat. I don't know. It's just kind of, that part's kind of silly, but. Welcome back from the ad break. Welcome back. Sorry about that. Thank you for sticking with me. Again, we're talking about the new Jurassic World movie. So, if you don't want spoilers, feel free to skip this stream. Just now, I just want to talk about it because I haven't gotten to talk about it yet. Yeah. So I guess we don't need to go through it plot by plot, right? That'd take forever. But the Spinosaurus in this movie, gorgeous. I really like them. There's a scene where they get to the beach, and they're like pulling the packs onto the sand, and the paleontologist is like, "You gotta keep going, they're amphibious." And one of the crew of the boat gets to the shore, and she's pulling a pack by herself, and she can't get it, so she takes a breather for a second, and then behind her, to her right, you see the Spinosaurus roll onto its belly like it was laying on its back. So it rolls upward, and then it crawls into the water. And like, oh, that's cool. And then she runs, she goes behind the pack, and then there's just a spray of blood. And she appears from the top, is like, "Help me, help me!" And then she gets dragged into the ocean by the Spinosaurus. He was like, "Oh, I was," because you're not sure if the Spinosaurus, because it doesn't actually like turn its head to look at her. It just wakes up, goes in the water, and grabs her. The Spinosaurus are really, they're really nice. They're really cool. And then so they have a discussion on the beach, right? And then they go into the jungle. One of the things I liked as they're trudging through the jungle to get to they have to get the DNA and then get to the helipad in the little science village or whatever that InGen built on the island to evac. And the helicopter's only gonna like circle the helipad for like 2 minutes, and if they don't see anybody, they're leaving, because they don't want to die either, because there's scary things that can fly around in around the island. So they're like, okay, we gotta get this stuff, and then we gotta get out. And so they're trudging through the jungle, and Duncan, to the paleontologist character, is like, "Hey, I thought you would be struggling with this a bit more." And the paleontologist is like, "No, I've worked in the field for like 3 years." So, because he'd been on digs. So that makes sense. Which was fun, cool, nice to see. Like, everyone in this movie was competent. Not like amazingly good at everything, but they were all competent people that made fairly understandable and reasonable decisions in this movie, especially under stress, or realistic decisions under stress. Like, no one was like Chris Pratt's character, where he's just good at everything, which works too. But like, everyone was good at something, I guess, if that makes sense. Like, everyone was competent at what they specialized in, which was fun to watch. Anyway, this trudging through this river, and there's a thing following them. I don't know what it is. It had, always saw it was like a back, its back, or maybe its tail, and it has a fluke, or the fin. I don't know if fluke's the right word. I keep using that word. As a fin, so like a big eel looking tail thing. We don't actually see the whole thing. It's kind of like the garbage disposal monster from Star Wars, in that you just see bits of it. But like it's like following them, and they're trudging through this little river creek thing, and when they get to a shore, and they sit down, and then the paleontologist guy gets on this soapbox about intelligence not actually being a big factor in species survival, which because he brings up that dinosaurs were around for hundreds of million of like 200 million years, whatever the number is. I don't remember off the top of my head. It's a very long time, and we humans only have we've only had 200,000, maybe 200 million, not 200 million, 200,000, something like that, and we've already made the means to destroy ourselves. And I'd give us not even a million years, and because the big pharma guy is like, oh, well, they're stupid. We're humans. We're geniuses. We rule the planet, don't we? And then he gets on this soapbox. Is a little eye rolling, a little. At the time, I didn't mind it at all. But thinking about it, it's like, yeah, it's a little weird. Just say out of nowhere. Not out of nowhere, but like it's like, okay, dude. And so yeah, then they find the titanosaurs. I really liked the scene with the titanosaurs. The titanosaurs are way too big. They're like kaiju size. They're like as big as King Kong in the monster versus Skull Island, because in Skull Island King Kong is like 80 feet tall or something, like he's a baby. It's his size in that movie, where like his standalone movie before Godzilla versus King Kong, and then whatever the newest one was, they go to the center of the earth. His size is like really weird, because like in that first movie he's like baby size, and then like in the newest movie where when he meets a bunch of other big ape kaijus, that like baby one that's like he like makes friends with, but is actually taller than he was in that first King Kong movie, which is just real. It's just weird how he was still like proportioned like an adult, but he was, little baby King Kong, and then the baby monkey kaiju in that newest movie is bigger than he was. It's just a little weird. Anyway, the titanosaurs are way too big, and the tails are way too long. But that scene was really pretty. They used their tails in like this courtship display. Like they wrapped it around each other, and they were nuzzling. It was really sweet, and it was smart of them to. So they filmed that scene in this huge field full of like neck tall grass, so they didn't have to make sauropod feet. I don't know. So there's a scene where Loomis, the paleontologist, walks up to one of the titanosaur's legs, and he touches it, and he just starts crying. And I started crying because like I want to touch a titanosaur too. And then he hugs it, and the leg. I don't know. It was a sweet scene. It was very sweet. And the leg, they had little pycnofibers, or protofeathers, whatever they're called. The titanosaur had little feather-like structures on its leg, kind of it looked like a prickly pear cactus, or like those cactuses that are flat with like the 3 spines coming out at each node. It looked like that, which was really cool. That was fun. That was neat to see. The titanosaurs in this movie had like this fin display structure on like the back of their head that they flipped up, and that was neat. I'm no expert. I can't tell you how realistic the titanosaurs in this movie are, but they're certainly very cool. So they get the DNA, and then it pans, and they played like the Jurassic Park theme, like a handful of times. Once when there was a scene of a helicopter going to the island in like the flashback scene at the beginning, and a couple other times. One of the times they did it was with this panning shot after the Titanosaurs finished their courtship display. They turn around and like start following this herd to the interior of the island, and there's like hundreds of there's like 100 of them, moving towards like this lake or whatever in the interior of the island. Like that's a very large herd of Titanosaur, and that scene was really cool. I like that scene a lot. It's probably my favorite, besides one we'll talk about in a second. So after they get the Titanosaur DNA, the family and the human dinosaur hybrids, that was the like leaked first like draft or plot for Jurassic Park 4 was going to have human dinosaur hybrids. I got myself a little too hyped up for this movie, I think, in terms of the D-Rex, the big mutant T-Rex with 4 legs, and still has the little arms, but it has 6 limbs, and the big bulbous forehead. Because I was like, because in the trailer, it walks on its knuckles. I talk with my hands. Forgive me. But it walks on its knuckles like an ape. So like, is it gonna be like they spliced some human or like ape DNA in this thing because it's walking on these big hands? No. 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 They didn't, or if they did, it wasn't brought up. Wasn't even like explicitly told in the movie what the D-Rex is a hybrid with. I think it's a Titanosaur, because I think that's where the big bulbous forehead comes from like the sauropod like head shape, maybe that's where that comes from. Besides them wanting, they explicitly said they wanted to make a movie monster, which is fair, like it's fine. And people, when the trailers released, people are like, just give us dinosaurs, make dinosaurs scary again. And they did that in this movie. The dinosaurs are scary in this movie. This movie is probably the scariest Jurassic World movie. Excuse me. Besides maybe some scenes with the Indoraptor in the mansion, maybe. There wasn't really. I haven't watched Dominion in forever. There was the amber mine scenes with the Dimetrodons, in the caves, which was cool. Like, okay, Dimetrodon is one of my favorite extinct things. Just one of my favorite things ever. Dimetrodon is not a dinosaur. It is a they used to use the term proto-mammal. I think it's just mammal, like reptile. I'm not quite sure what term is the one you're supposed to use these days. But it's Dimetrodon, to think the little lizard-looking thing with the sail on its back, not a Spinosaurus, is more closely related to you and me than any dinosaur. Anyway, I liked seeing those in that movie. That was really cool. Anyway, the Titanosaur scene was really cool. And then, so the film cuts back and forth between the family following the geothermal pipes towards the InGen facility for safety, and the guys trying to get the DNA. Some people have said that makes it feel disjointed. I haven't. I've watched Gumball. There's an A plot and a B plot. Adventure Time Adventure Time doesn't really have A and B plots, right? I don't. maybe not. But it's fine. It didn't bother me at all. Uh, but yeah, the dinosaurs in this movie are really really good. They're really well done. I have very few complaints about the dinosaurs themselves. Besides maybe the D-Rex, but even that guy, it's fine. They wanted they want to sell toys, and that's fine. You know, that's how the world works. You make a movie to sell toys, because any scene in this movie with the D-Rex could have just been the T-Rex, because there is a T-Rex in this movie, and it's probably the best the T-Rex has been since JP3 or Lost World maybe. The JP3 T-Rexes were still really good, but um, this T-Rex is gorgeous. This T-Rex is so pretty. It is such a pretty animal. They give it kind of a silly iguanodon cheek scales, but that's fine. It's like this green color. Because we've only had a Rexy. Like, Rexy has only been the only T-Rex we've seen in the Jurassic World movies ever. Like, she's the only T-Rex. And she is, like, in Jurassic World, she looks emaciated. Like, the end of the film when she, like, walks up that hill on top of the building and then roars. Like, you can see her ribs. Like, they do not feed her. They did not feed her enough. And she's like this matte gray, brown, green. And this, which is still, that's fine. I like Rexy a lot. She's neat. But this T-Rex, the scene with this T-Rex is so good. It's so good. I haven't read the books. I need to read the Jurassic Park books. But I do know that, like, in the first book, there's the scene with the T-Rex in a river, and they're on a raft. Because remember the trailers showing the T-Rex like stalking, following this inflatable raft down the river. Be like, oh, they're doing the raft scene, the river scene, and they did. They wanted to do it in the first film, but they just couldn't do it. It would be too difficult with the animatronics, and the simulating water, I guess, was still an issue back then. Because now they can simulate water and CGI water and all that stuff just fine. But I really liked the T-Rex scene. It was really fun and very stressful. It was scary and stressful. But the scene starts because the family is they're following the geothermal tubes towards the facility, and I think before that there's a scene where the boyfriend, they're taking turns keeping watch and keeping a fire going while other people sleep, and the boyfriend, there's this nice dialogue scene between the boyfriend and the dad. I actually really liked the family in this movie a lot. It was they were nice, and you wanted to root for them. And I actually liked the boyfriend character a lot. His actor's really good. They did. I think the actor did a good job too. Anyway, so the dad's like, "Hey, you're a good guy. Because you jumped in after my daughter fell in the water. She wouldn't be here if you didn't do that." And he says, "She sees something. She sees you. She sees she sees what's in you." And he's like, "Well, I'm sure glad she does it." And then, because he's like self-deprecating, and the dad's like, "Hey, people already tear us down. It's not good for you to do that yourself." And it's like, "Yeah, that's cool." And then he's like, "I gotta go pee." So the boyfriend walks off to go pee. You want some smooches, Crit? Okay. And there's a scene. This is really fun. It was a well executed joke. boyfriend's the comedic relief character who also has an arc in the movie. So he goes to pee and he gets up on this rock by a river or whatever, and he starts peeing, and behind him you see two shapes come out of the foliage, and they're like stalking him. It's the raptors. The design of these raptors leaked, where they have quills on the back of their head, like they look like JP3 raptors, which is the best Jurassic Park raptors, no contest. But they're all blurred because the camera focus is on the boyfriend's face while he's peeing. So the raptors, there's a male and a female, are like stalking him, and there's two mutant dinosaurs in this movie. There's the D-Rex and then the Mutodon, which is like a pteranodon raptor thing. It's like this big chubby velociraptor with wings. Like they have like the like chunky throat pouch thing that you see on some birds, like a chicken. And it flies into frame and lands on one of the raptors, and then there's a bunch of roaring and stuff, and the boyfriend's like right, he's freaking out, but he's not, he doesn't move, he doesn't even look behind him. And then the other raptor runs off, and then the Megalodon carries another raptor away, and then he starts peeing again. And it's like, whoo, and it was funny, it worked. So like one of the complaints I have with this movie is that we don't see raptors like Jurassic Park raptors in this movie. They use the like the same thing where I said about the D-Rex scenes being, you could just replace the D-Rex with a T-Rex and it would still work. The Mutodon scenes could all be just raptors, because the Mutodons flying don't really factor into the scenes much. Like they fly in and like land in front of people sometimes, but they like run after them and chase them through tunnels and stuff. Like them flying hardly has anything to do with the action. So you could just replace them with those raptor designs, which are really good. They have like colorful heads, and then they have like black and white stripes on their body. I think it's been a while since I looked at those. The designs of them leaked because of like toy action figure packaging leaking, something like that. But that's like one of my few complaints. We didn't see enough of the Velociraptor designs they made for this movie. I hope we see them in a film or something later. But okay, let me give Richard his kisses, and we can. I'll finish talking about the river scene with the T-Rex, because it's so good. It's good. Also, sorry if I'm being loud. I get excited to talk about things. Okay, here you go, Crit. Thank you for this butcher name, sir. Thank you.
That is a cute emote, CJ. What the heck? That is a cute emote. Grid, do you have a smooch preference? Do you prefer the birthday smooches? Or the faster smooches, like... or the slower smooches?
Excuse me. If you don't have a preference, it's fine. Okay. There you go, Cred. Thank you for the switch redeem, sir. Thank you. Hopefully that was alright for you. Sorry. I don't know if this is a very ASMR stream, but I wanted to talk about the movie. I wanted to talk about the movie. Anyway, so the river scene happens because the family is trying to get to the village on the island to maybe find help, to get help, and they're hiking, and then the little girl character, the youngest daughter of the family, is walking, and then she just falls. She like slips, and then she starts rolling down the hill, and everyone's like, hey, whoa, whoa, and so they all tumble down the hill. Or maybe she goes last. I don't remember. And then they all land in a pile of dead leaves, and they're like, oh, what's that smell? And then they all get up and look around, and then they see a river, and on the other side of the river is this little dock, and then there's they can see a boat in this little emergency equipment shed. And so the oldest daughter swims across the river. It's a very tense scene. Like, she's by herself now. She gets to the dock, and then it pans over, and there's a dead Parasaurolophus. However you say, I don't know if I still can't say it right. Just a carcass of one that has been chewed on. So there's something around here. That's the smell that they mentioned earlier. So you're like, oh boy. that's interesting. I don't know if this carcass was CGI or if it was a practical thing. I don't know. I don't think it was practical effects. So she's walking across the dock, and then you hear like this little whistle, and then a Dilophosaurus jumps on top of the Para's head, and you're like, oh, a Dilophosaurus. And it like walks up to her, it cranes it, turns its head, and then it opens the fins, and it sees something behind her, and then like shrinks and then runs away. You're like, oh no. And so she's still not inside the shed, but behind her you see kind of a shape move behind some grass, and then T-Rex rolls over and like stretches and like yawns. It's so cool. The T-Rex is sleeping, it rolls over on its back, and then just it like stretches, and it's just continues snoring. And she's like, oh goodness. And so she gets in the shed. She's safe in the shed now. Let me get a stretch here. Thank you for the stretch, Cookie. Thank you. Almost fell over there. Ouch. Thank you, Cookie. And she finds a flashlight. It turns out that the boat that they saw in the front of the shed, and that coming out in they could see in the shed, turns out it's just like half a boat. And then she finds a inflatable raft, still uninflated. So it's in this little plastic box thing. And so she drags it out, and she starts dragging it across the dock towards the water, and it snaps to the box, and it says, inflate before putting in the water, box will sink if not inflated, or whatever. It's like, oh no, is it gonna be that she like pulls in the water and it like sinks, and then they're like, oh no, no. So she's like dragging it, and it's like getting caught on like the wood planks, and the Rex is like twitching or whatever, and she's like super stressed, and everybody on the other side of the river is like, hey, they're like shushing her and like motioning. She does not look behind her at all. She is terrified and just kind of focused, like, I don't know what else I need to do. I should do. I just need to do this. Um, so she gets it to the edge of the dock, and she pulls this handle on the box, and it goes whoop, and then it lands in the and then it she tosses it in the water. Um, so it cuts to the boat inflates sideways, so it pops up on its side, and then it falls over into the water, and then the Rex is gone. And you're like, oh no. And so we don't know where the Rex went. So she gets in the boat and starts like paddling. The Rex is in the distance, and it doesn't notice this at all. I guess didn't see her at first because the boat pops up and covered her. So like the Rex moved fast, like it's just gone, and it gets a drink of water. So it's like, hurry, 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 because they need to. They're like, get in the boat before it turns around. So they get everyone in the boat and the raft, and then the Rex turns around and like sees this. I really like the Rex scene because the Rex is not like it acts like an animal. Like it's never seen this raft before. It seems more interested in the raft itself than the people in the scene. Like it's this bright yellow, like banana yellow raft. So it sees this raft and it starts like following it down the river, like look, just kind of like, oh, what's this? And they're like, paddle, 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 paddle. They can obviously see the people in the raft too. But I'm like, okay, it's gonna go, and then the water's gonna get too deep for the Rex to do anything. No, the Rex trudges into the water, and then when it gets deep enough, the Rex just swims underneath the raft. Which is just super cool. This is really cool. So it swims, and then it throws the raft in the air, and then everybody gets separated, and then they get sent down some rapids, and so we see the dad, the older daughter, and the boyfriend, and they're all like swimming through, trying to not get bit through the rapids, and the Rex tries to grab the dad underwater. And then they're like, oh, where's the little girl? We don't see her. And it turns out she's underneath the raft. The raft flipped over, and she's like clinging to the inside, going, Dad, 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 help me. And the Rex hears her, and it walks over to the raft, and you're like, oh no. Because at this point I was like, are they going to, because we didn't see her at all. It's like, okay, well, where is she? We see her inside the raft. She's like clutching the inside of like the seat in the raft. You're like, oh, are they gonna do it? No, they don't. They don't do it. But the river scene is basically just a replication of the car scene in the first film, where the Rex like bites through the top of it, and the sunroof comes out, pops out, and then they're like holding it up with their feet. It kind of replicates that scene where it like grabs the car and throws it around, right? So the Rex, like it cuts to her inside, and she's still yelling, and then they made, I think this was practical. They made Rex teeth, and then they like pushed it into the Rex, like tries to bite the top of the raft, but it's rubber. So it doesn't actually puncture the roof of the raft. But it's like, oh. So the dad's like, come on, come on. And then you're like, oh no. And then the Rex picks it up in its mouth and it like throws it around like a dog like caught a frisbee or whatever, and just tosses it in its mouth and then throws it. And you're like, oh no. And the dad's face drops and he's like, oh no, my daughter, and he starts bawling or crying, and then she pops her head up and it's like, oh, it's me, I'm here. And the Rex sees her, and then so it's still tense. The Rex is like walking after her like, swim, swim. And there's this, the river goes down this little rapids and then it ends where there's like two big columns of rock that they got behind, so the Rex can't fit further down the river. It would have to walk around it. But she gets between those two rocks, and then the Rex shoves its head between them. It's like, anyway, the scene was really cool. The Rex was really pretty. It was fun. Probably one of the best scenes with the T-Rex in a Jurassic movie, probably since the third Jurassic Park film. Excuse me. Anyway, the movie's really good. You should watch it. If you're watching this, you should watch it anyway, because it's good. It's way better than Fallen Kingdom and Dominion. I think Fallen Kingdom and Dominion have some nice like filmmaking stuff. There's like themes in those movies. Like Jurassic World was like, oh, we need to treat animals good or whatever, right? The film doesn't really have any themes besides like, hey, big pharma's bad, and everyone should have access to life-saving medication. That's about as far as you get with a theme in this film. Like it's just kind of like JP3 again. But it's good. It's fun. It's a good fun watch. It's a fun watch. What happens after the Rex? Okay, so after the Rex scene, the movie kind of moves into the final act and all that, and then they get to the geothermal science village, and by the time they get there, the sun's setting, and then they're all talking. And then the family and the science guys reunite, and then we see a scene earlier after they get the Titanosaur DNA, before they get the Quets, I think. They're like stopping at a river, and the bad guy fills his canteen with some river water, drinks it, and then finds some dog tags in some rocks in the river, and picks him up and looks at him, and then he looks up, and there's just like a World War II or World War I plane in the trees, like in JP3, and there's a pilot, his skeleton, and his hand's still clutching like a 1911 or whatever. And then we don't actually see him get it. We just see him pick up a big rock and presumably knock it down. And so when they meet back up at the village, the older daughter's like, he tried to kill me. Where's this guy? I'm gonna kill him. And he walks out of the foliage. He's like, hey, what's up? Whoa, calm down. And he pulls the pistol on people, and he doesn't shoot anybody. He's just like, okay, we're still gonna all get on the helicopter, but everybody's gonna shut up, not tell anybody what I did today. Like, he doesn't want to kill people. Like, you get the vibe he doesn't want to. Well, he let her fall overboard. But he doesn't like shoot anybody. He does point the gun at people. But he's still like, hey, we're all gonna go home. We're all gonna get on the helicopter. And then while they're talking, there's this loud sound, and the paleontologist guy is like, oh, it's probably just the backup generator. Probably turns on. I wonder if it turns on every night. So there's this loud mechanical noise, and then some lights turn on. A few like backup lights turn on, and then the D-Rex roars. We know it's the D-Rex, but they don't. And so it says, well, that's one angry generator. And then the generator turns on. And then the whole facility lights up. And they're by a gas station. And then Stand By Me starts playing. And they're like, oh. And then the Mutadons show up. And then they recreate the Raptor kitchen scene, but in a gas station with the Mutadons, which is still suspenseful and scary. But they just did the kitchen scene with the the Mutadons again, instead of raptors. But it's still good. It's not bad. It works. And then the family goes in the gas station to hide, and then eventually they find a grate in the floor, and then they get into there's a tunnel system under the whole facility. So they get in the tunnels, and then the bad guy, he has the suitcase with the DNA in it, and that he handcuffs to himself, and the gun, and he rolls under a jeep or whatever to hide, and Scarlett Johansson's character is hiding behind like a gas station pump while Mutadon's like bashing his head against the doors, and she runs under the jeep, rolls under the jeep, and Mutadon is like knocking around the jeep, and then the guy starts firing the pistol at the thing, but he never hits it. She's like, "You're missing. Give me the gun." And after a while, the Mutadon like knocks the jeep over, or throws it a distance. It's still on the wheels. It just shoves it, and so Scarlett Johansson rolls back under it, but the guy is sitting against it, like trying to hide. And then he sees the keys for the jeep in like the door, so he grabs them, and then he jumps in the jeep, and then the Mutadon sees that, and then there's some commotion, and like, oh, he's dead. He got eaten by the Mutadon. No, the jeep turns on, and then it cuts, and then the Mutadon's like on the hood, and then he drives off. Anyway, so you're like, oh, there, okay, he's dead. They did kill him. But no, he lived. These jeeps are the same color as like the JP1 jeeps, the gray and red, but they're like fancy electric jeeps. They have fancy like tail lights that are like circles or what lines. I don't know. They look cool. We don't get a good look at one really, because it's dark. But they're cool. They're cool. So the final act is them kind of like trying to hail the helicopter, because the helicopter shows up. So they're running around trying to get the helicopter. But when the Mutadons show up, they split up. So Duncan, Kincaid, and Dr. Loomis, the paleontologist, run across this railing together. They get inside the main laboratory. They look around there for a bit. They see a two-headed Mutadon in a big vat, and he's like, ew. And then they hear the helicopter. They see it through a broken roof, and then Duncan's like, you go hail the helicopter, make sure it doesn't leave. I'm gonna go find those kids. And he's like, okay. And Duncan runs off, and then he turns around, and then Loomis turns around. And then the D-Rex walks behind the building, and you can see it through a door. Like, oh, that's the first time we see it actually in the film, besides the flashback at the beginning of the movie. Hi, Shiro Uta, salutations, most favored of patriarchs. Hello, sir, how you doing? How are you, Shiro? How you doing? Good to see you. Hope you're having a good weekend. I'm just rambling about dinosaurs and the new Jurassic World movie. But how you doing, Swear? How you doing? It's almost been 2 hours already. So, if anyone has their smooch redeems or any trigger requests that they want, please get those in soon so I can get those too. I feel bad. I've just been talking the whole night. But if you have any of those you want redeemed, please get those in so I can get those to you. Otherwise, I'll have to wait till Wednesday. But how you doing, Shiro? Good to see you. So, the D-Rex is only in the movie for like maybe 10 minutes. It's in the movie more than the T-Rex, but the D-Rex felt underutilized to me. It wasn't like the main part of the plot. The mutants just happened to it. They just happened to have to go to an island with mutants, dinosaurs on them. The mutants didn't have anything to really do with the plot at all, which is fine. It's not a big deal. But it made the D-Rex kind of feel underutilized. Like, you could just replace the D-Rex with a regular T-Rex, and those scenes that it's in would play out essentially very similar. I need to alter some. Anyway, so Dr. Loomis sees the D-Rex kind of walk past a doorway, and he's like, "Oh boy!" And then he runs away, runs out to go to hail the helicopter. Excuse me. We cut to the helicopter people, and I'm like, "All right, I don't see anybody. Let's get the heck out of here. I don't want to die today." And then Dr. Loomis runs up on some railings and sees a box with flares in it. He opens it, grabs the flare. They see the flare. Helicopter turns around, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm right here." Then fog rolls in, so the only thing we see is Dr. Loomis, and then the spotlight, the searchlight on the front of the helicopter through the fog. And he's like, "Yeah, yeah." And then he notices the D-Rex was behind him, so he's like, "Oh no, turn around, turn around." And then the fog rolls in. I think that's what happens. And so the spotlight gets closer through the fog, and then we see that the helicopter is in the D-Rex's mouth. That was I liked that scene a lot. It was well done. That was really nice. That was nice. Sorry if you can hear my sister in the other room. She's playing Roblox. But yeah, I liked the film. This movie had nice shots and things. Like, I think this was a good movie. I think it was a good movie. Anyway, Duncan saw a boat on some security camera footage or whatever on one of the computers in the lab that they came across, and he's like, "All right, we got to go find a boat. I saw a boat. Let's go get it." So they all get in the sewage tunnel system underneath the facility. So Duncan finds the family and all that, and Loomis finds him like, "Hey, the helicopter's a no-go," and Duncan's like, "Okay, I saw a boat. Let's go to the docks and get in this boat." So they're crawling through the tunnel system, and then Scarlett Johansson's character. So after the guy drives off in the Jeep, Mutadon wiggles its way through the sewer main hole and then into the tunnel system somehow. Even though they're like they're very chubby mutants. So it squeezes itself in there, and then Scarlett Johansson follows it in. She has the gun now. She has the pistol. So she's kind of trying to find the family, and then she finds she finds them, and then the Mutadon, and then she shoots the Mutadon, and they're like, let's get out of here. So they're running, and then they get to an exit of the tunnel system, but there's a gate in the way. And they're like, all right, we gotta squeeze through, and because the gate control is on the opposite side of the gate. There's no gate control inside the tunnel, which, I don't know, think about it, doesn't really make any sense, because if you're trying to get through the gate, through this tunnel system, like, it's wide enough to drive a Jeep through, one of these a car. So it's wide enough, so it's probably meant for easy travel in a vehicle. There's no gate control inside the tunnel on the other side of the gate. Anyway, so they're all trying to squeeze through the gate, and they're like trying to lift it. And so then the little girl goes between the bars to go open the gate. And like, no, come back, come back, come back. And as she's there, the D-Rex shows up. And it's like, oh, I'm gonna get you. And then the guy on the Jeep is driving to the dock. So the tunnel they're in, they're at the docks now. They just need to get the gate open. The guy comes barreling down this road. There's a nice gag with him driving past a pedestrians, watch out for pedestrian sign, and then there's an ankylosaurus on the road. It was a nice joke. So he narrowly avoids an ankylosaurus and is driving. He's like, come on, come on. And he gets there, and he's driving, and then he sees the D-Rex, and the D-Rex is like, nope, and then, like, puts his hand on the front of the Jeep, and then eats him. Doesn't eat the case with the DNA in it, though. They get that. And so while it's distracted eating the bad guy, the little girl flips up the gate. And then they get to the docks, and then they're trying to get the boat down, but the winch is broken. And so Duncan uses some flares he got from Loomis to lead the D-Rex away through the water and into like a little bit of jungle. So you're like, oh, he's dead. He died. He sacrificed himself to get these people out of, so they could get the boat lowered. And they get the boat on, and the D-Rex comes back, and then they outrun the D-Rex, and then it's over. And then Duncan lived. He lived somehow. We don't see what happened, but the D-Rex didn't eat Duncan. So, and then the movie ends how JP1 ends, except they're not in a helicopter, they're on a boat. And instead of staring at an albatross flying across the water, they stare at a pod of dolphins jumping in and out of the water, which was still really nice. But that's how the movie ends. We don't see them get back or anything, or what they do with the DNA, so I guess they're leaving that for a sequel. I imagine this movie will do well enough to make it, have a sequel make sense, but I don't know what they do from here. Yeah, they start a new trilogy? I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, that's the whole plot of the movie, I guess. But I enjoyed the movie. I thought the premise was really stupid. They need to go to the island. They justified going back to an island to get DNA because all the dinosaurs can't survive anywhere but around the equator, where it's humid and there's more oxygen, which isn't true. Oxygen changes by elevation, not temperature. So, I don't know. There's bits of it that were really dumb, and some bits that were really cool, like the T-Rex. Yeah. Yep. After the movie ended, after the credits were over, or during the credits, I heard my brother talking about how the Dilophosaurus in the Jurassic Park and the World movies that's not what a Dilophosaurus looks like at all. Dilophosaurus is 20 feet long. Um, he's big. He's a big boy. And they did not have a frill. They had crests on their head, but they did not have that frill, and they were much larger than that. I've talked about this before, but they were doing like a web comic thing or something for like Jurassic World things, promotions or whatever, and it got canceled pretty quickly, I think. And before it could release, it got canceled before this could release. There was a leaked image or art, a piece of art of this like dark lab or like a dilapidated building with dilos like all over the tables and stuff. And on the back wall there's a window into like a stairwell, and coming down the stairwell was an adult Dilophosaurus. So we were this close to having an accurately sized Dilophosaurus in Jurassic Park or Jurassic World. We were this close. So upsetting, because Dilophosaurus is really cool, and it's not this little guy. It's a big guy. You know. But the Dilophosaurus in Jurassic Park is cute. It is cute. It is iconic. It is. But it's not inaccurate. It's probably the least accurate animal in the films. Besides maybe the Velociraptor. Because Michael Crichton famously said he used Velociraptor because it's a scarier or more dramatic name than Deinonychus. Because the raptors in the movie and in the books are inspired by Deinonychus and not Velociraptor. Velociraptor is this cute little fuzzy guy at the size of a turkey. But yeah, welcome back from the ad break. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you. I feel like that break just happened, but that's what I get for rambling for 2 hours. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. So if anyone has any trigger requests or their smooch redeems, please get those in soon so I can get those to you. Because I feel bad that I just talked the whole stream. I'm sorry, but I really wanted to talk about this movie, and I guess we did. I did not go in thinking I would just break down the plot, but I did. I don't know if that was exciting to listen to at all, but thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. But I think my favorite part was the raft scene with the T-Rex. That or the Spinosaurus was really cool. Spinosaurus scenes were really neat. I heard that they used a similar sound to the JP3 Spinosaurus roar for these Spinosaurus. I don't know if that's true. I haven't seen Jurassic Park 3 more recently enough to determine the veracity of that. But I wouldn't put it past them to do that. That would be cool. Because the Spinosaurus, I haven't heard it in a while, but I do like the roar that the Spinosaurus does. And there weren't a ton of dinosaurs in this movie. Not a ton. Maybe because we got spoiled by Dominion and Fallen Kingdom, giving us a bunch in one movie. Because Jurassic Park had the Dilophosaurus, Brachiosaurus. There were Paras in the background of the Brachiosaurus scene, T-Rex, and the raptors, and Triceratops. and Triceratops. Were there any others? Trying to. Oh, the Gallimimus. The Gallimimus. Of course, there were the Gallimimus. They're flocking like birds. Well, they're flocking this way. Yeah. This movie had T-Rex, Dilophosaurus, Titanosaurus. There was a wasn't the Stegosaurus. Was it a Microceratus? Was it Microceratus? Is that a real name? I think it was a Microceratus. Yeah, it was a Microceratus. The Microceratus in this movie didn't have quills on its tail. Did this one? I guess Microceratus did. This is not a very long Wikipedia article. It's okay. Stegosaurus. How do you say that? Is it Psittacosaurus? 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 Is the P silent? Probably. So there's T-Rex, Microceratus, Dilophosaurus. There's a dead para. There was an Apatosaurus at the beginning. The Titanosaurus. There was the baby Pteranodon, the Dunkleosteus, which isn't a dinosaur. Mosasaurus. Yeah, there were more dinosaurs in this movie than the first movie. I just had to think. Sorry, I bumped the mic so many times tonight. I'm so sorry. Okay. Well, we'll probably raid out here in a couple minutes. Because I don't want to be up too late tonight. But I do want to record an ASMR video before I go to bed. I don't know what I'm going to do for this one tonight. Probably kisses or something. Maybe kisses and mouth sounds. People like those. I like those. I'm people. Yeah, thank you guys for being here. Thank you. Sorry about no streams on Friday and Saturday. Sorry about that. Do I need to bother doing the schedule this week? We can do that real quick. Before I forget, it'd be the same as this week's schedule, last week's schedule. I feel bad about missing a Sega Saturday, because that means they're extended by one more week. So I think we've missed 2 Saturdays so far. But we're over halfway there now to playing all 55 of the Sega games, so we're getting there. I haven't done it yet tonight. Cap hasn't been here, so here's some thigh pats. Here's some thigh drums for you. But thank you guys for being here tonight. Thank you. It's good to see you all. Thank you for spending time with me tonight. We'll call it a night here, and we'll raid Sucrose tonight, as is tradition on Sundays. She's playing some Animal Crossing. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Beastie Ball, Tuesday for Digimon Cyber Sleuth Hackers Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth Hackers Memory, and Thursday for more Baldur's Gate 3, and this Saturday is Phantasy Star 3 because we weren't able to play it yesterday. But yeah. Okay, let's get the right going here. Okay, give me 1 second to sort my headphones and I will be right back. Okay, thank you guys for being here. Thank you. Yeah. Sorry. I always feel bad when we do have an ASMR stream. I just talk the whole time because it doesn't feel very ASMR. I hope this stream still help people relax at least. I don't know if I helped you sleep. I'm a little worried I was a little too loud, but hope not. But please be nice to Sucrose. Please give her some love. Give her a follow if you haven't already. She's awesome. She does lots of retro games. She plays fighting games, Grand Blue, and every Sunday she does ASMR streams. Some weeks she plays cozy games when she does just cozy streams with some cozy games. But good night, guys. Good night, DJ. Good night. Bye bye, guys. Bye bye.